Hello and welcome to another edition of Big Brother Celebrity Season 3 for Reality NSFW. I'm your host, Bobby Goodsby, and I'm here as always with my good friend and co-host, Mr. Brent Wolgamott. Brent, how you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. I'm a little bitter, I have to say right off the top, because we didn't get our pound of flesh that I really think we needed from Todrick. I'm a
Yeah.
little bitter about that. I don't know how many times we've talked about these finales being too fucking long. And the one time we needed just a little bit of extra time to get our pound of flesh, they wouldn't give it to us. And I'm also quickly noting the fact that Julie Chen did not reveal America's vote. And I know that Sharon Tharp from Entertainment Weekly, is Entertainment Weekly? Is that who she's with? Us Weekly. I think. Anyway, Sharon Tharp, you know who she is. She did not reveal America's vote, Julie Chen. And I'm bitter about that because I know that she was asked to do that. She's like, okay, I'll think about it. But no, she did not, because they didn't want to embarrass Todrick. And also they started at the goddamn end because they didn't want to embarrass Todrick. They could have started at the beginning and just, it would have been a sweep for Misha. And also, I'm sorry, I'm ranting, but let's go. Look,
Let's do it.
Did you all notice that they did not take a commercial break in between when Cynthia came out of the house and then when they started the voting? Because I'm telling you, bitch, if they had, then the jurors would have got to her. Carson would have got to her and said, girl, this is what went down. This is how you can't vote for Todrick. We need to make it a sweep. But instead, there was no commercial break, so they couldn't get to Cynthia. It was a live show. And so, of course, she fucked it up and voted for Todrick at the end, which, of course, I'm all bitter about. Anyway, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. It's 100% because it's a celebrity season. They do not want to make these celebrities look any worse than they possibly made themselves look on the show. So
Unbelievable.
when they have a celebrity version, they're not going to call these stars out because this is people that are in their industry. This is people they work with. This is people that they were lucky to have on the show. So if they go and call out Todrick for the things he said and the things he did in that house, then people for following seasons of Big Brother Celebrity aren't going to want to go on this show knowing they're going to get called out for their actions. Now, should they be? Should they be called out? Probably, yeah. And should this be something that should be spoken and talked about in front of the audience? Of course. But I think for the reputation of the show and to be able to do future iterations of the same concept, I think that's why they don't want to, put the gas pedal on. So that's my thought process.
No, I think that's probably right. I mean, they're always looking forward. And even though I think Julie said that she doesn't think that Big Brother Celebrity will come back next year, I mean, let's be honest, they just put it on because of the goddamn Olympics. That's the tea. They needed something to compete against the Olympics, and that's what they got. So the Olympics aren't on next year. So I don't know if it'll come back maybe 2 years from now, but still it might come back, and Julie's aware of that. And so that's why the show doesn't go too hard on these celebs. Although the celebs go really hard on social media and the press, I have to say. So, CBS might be doing them a solid by not letting them go off in person on the live show, but that's not saving Todrick from anything I'm seeing on social media. And I'm kind of wondering at this point, does he even stay on social media? Who out there is supporting Todrick? I mean, is there anybody? I don't know of anybody who's supporting Todrick. And well, maybe his mom. I don't know. Anyway. Whatever.
All right. So we've got a lot to go over here. This is the season finale of Big Brother Celebrity 3. It was fun. It was interesting. It was aggravating, but we got through it. It was a quick 4 weeks. And guess what? We got a version of Big Brother. We got to be happy about that. So,
yes.
Yeah, sorry. Were you going to say something?
No. I was just going to say we got a version of Big Brother. Yes, go ahead.
We did. And now, here's what I want to say. With this concept, I do like the 4-week process. I do like that it's a fast iteration of the show. Does it go as in depth as we wanted to? No. Is the finale as interesting as, say, a regular Big Brother season? No. When we came into this finale tonight, I totally had it in my head, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because I haven't seen the other, BB Celeb 2 and 1 in a long time, that I totally forgot that it's a final 3 competition, and that's it. It really was frustrating for me to see that. Like, I wanted to see some sort of HOH competition, and I understand it's only a 1-hour show. They got to kind of get it in, get it out, and be done with it. But I'm just not a fan of this one competition at the end with the final 3. I want to hear your idea on that. Do you like the way that they do it on Celebrity Big Brother, where it's a quick, final 3 competition and that's it?
Well, I mean, in the past, they've always done Final Four competitions, so this was
Okay,
a
how did
vast
I couldn't
improvement.
remember.
Yeah, like, girl, in the past, the last 2 times that they've done Celebrity Big Brother, they got to the Final Four, and then they had 1 competition, and that HOH got to evict 2 people. So it'd be like, me,
That's right.
you,
I think I do
and,
remember
like,
that.
your wife and your baby all competing for HOH, and all of a sudden your baby wins HOH,
Well, she
and
deserves
then
it.
she evicts, like, me and you, in one fell
Gotcha.
swoop. Okay,
Gotcha.
like
Gotcha.
that's what was happening the last few times.
Yeah.
And so it was really sucky because we don't like that. We don't like, I mean, that's too much power for one person to have, is to evict 2 people at the end. So I love the fact that they got it down to a final 3 and Cynthia had a chance, not a good one, but a chance to win HOH here at the end. I mean, I think this is all we could ask for. I don't expect them to do part 1, part 2, part 3
Yeah.
for final HOH for celebs. They did one competition. It was a quiz. Misha won, but I think she was always going to win whatever competition they put out there anyway. So why are we prolonging this? As
And
Julie said,
maybe
why prolong this? You've won.
And maybe it's also because of the fact that I'm just used to part 1, part 2, part 3. Do you think that the regular show should go to this concept of a final 3 like questionnaire, or do you like the part 1, part 2, part 3 for the regular Big Brother seasons?
I like part 1, part 2, part 3 because
Yeah.
it leads to more backstabbing, because the winners of part 1 and part 2 are always promising each other everything. That's what happened last year. Was it? No, sorry, not last year. God, time goes by. You know what, girl, when you get old, I'm telling you, time goes by so fast. Oh, what is this? Oh my God, my phone starts talking to me. Anyway, I was gonna say, during All Stars, Cody was promising Nicole that he was going to take her to the end. And obviously he did not. And that gave us that great moment where she realized, and then they came back from commercial break and she's in tears and we all know what's coming. And oh, it was delicious. So I mean, I'm a purist. So I love part 1, part 2. But I'm not so purist that I'm, upset about this iteration. I mean, it's Celebrity Big Brother. The jury is not sequestered. I don't expect them to be. I will say, real tea, you all, if the jury had been sequestered, I do think Todrick wins. I do think he would have won.
Yeah.
It would have been close, but I think he would have nipped her at the end. But that's not Celebrity Big Brother, and I think he forgot that.
And that actually led to my next question for you. Do you believe we see with the Celebrity Big Brother season, they get to go home, they get to go to be with their families, they get to watch back the show, they get to see social media. Do you enjoy the fact that they get to go home and see all the tea that has been spilt throughout the season? Or do you think that Celebrity Big Brother should take a chapter out of regular Big Brother and go to a jury, sequester format, which I understand they might not, because they're celebrities, they might not agree to that. But what are your thoughts on that process?
Celebrity Big Brother is always the bastard cousin to regular Big Brother, even Big Brother Canada, which we'll talk about later. They released the cast for Big Brother Canada. We can talk about that. But to me, Celebrity Big Brother has always been like good popcorn, where we get what we want. And like I remember when Tamar won, we got what we wanted out of that. And social media had a lot to do with that, because, a lot of people were not happy with Tamar coming out of the house, but the social media just rose up for her. And she got the win. So I feel like most of the time I want to get out of Celebrity Big Brother. It's only a 4-week process, 3 weeks for this, on the air. It's only 3 weeks on the air, I think. How long has it been on? I think they've been in the house 4 weeks.
4 weeks. This is Today would be 4 weeks.
Okay. Anyway, point being that I like to get the ending that I want. And honestly, with this final 2, this is the ending that I wanted. I wanted Misha to win. I wanted Todrick to lose. I'm glad that social media was there to point people in the right direction about what they should be doing with their vote, because I wanted to get mine, and we got it. Now for, proper Big Brother, I don't ever want to go with this, this particular way, because I think it would bastardize the game. But it's Celebrity Big Brother. This is not the real iteration of Big Brother anyway. Although I do like the fast moving pace. I really do. I love the fact that we, move along. And I swear to God, I don't know how many times that somehow Twitter got the real Kyle Moore cast on Big Brother Canada.
Yes,
10.
I was so happy.
I don't. So what I'm saying is, if Twitter can do that, can Twitter please get us a fast moving Big Brother celeb style version of All Stars, of like winners, like bring all the winners back for like 3 weeks and just have them play at breakneck pace like this, I would love that. Like that would be fantastic. But I just don't know if they're gonna do that.
Well, see, the problem with that is that's Big Brother Canada that actually listens to the fans and reads what the fans say on Twitter. We're talking about
very
Big Brother
true.
US here, who doesn't give a shit what the what the
They
public
don't give a
thinks.
shit. Well,
And
you need to look at that
you could
AFC
say this.
vote to know that they don't give a shit.
You
Yeah,
could say the sky is blue, and they'll say, "Hell no, it's red. You're an idiot. Like we're doing it our way.
true.
Like
Yeah,
it's
I know.
that's how it is." We could, beg till we're red in the face, but it took a pandemic to happen for them to do a second All-Star season. Like literally, we're talking about people that don't give a shit about what the fans think, but when it's necessary on their part, they'll go through with it. I'm just saying, Big Brother Canada is a totally different engine. Those people, Arissa is one of us. She likes the show. She watches. She's a fan.
I know.
It's totally different.
I know.
But I agree with you.
Yes.
Now, I will say this about the sequester versus, going home and watching the show. I do agree with you. I think it's a totally different monster where it's kind of nice having a change of pace where they can see what's happening, they can see what people are saying, and they can see how people are actually playing in the house. But there's part of me also like, Todrick played a game that we've talked about before is really good for a regular Big Brother season when the cast is sequestered in the jury. Now, I feel like you're almost better off not being a fan going into the celebrity version because you don't know what to expect with the sequestered jury. And so you're just going to be 100% real in yourself with everyone. And you're not going to say anything to someone's face that you can't live up to. Now, if it was a regular season, you could lie to their face and then it doesn't affect you till after the season's over and they've already voted. So I think that someone like Todrick is never going to do well when they go in as a fan and play hard because they're used to the normal format.
I mean, I guess, but Tamar was a fan and she won, although Ross was a super fan as well and he lost. So,
Exactly.
It's sort of apples. I don't know. I'm not sure what I prefer, but the thing is that I just simply recognize that Celebrity Big Brother is in fact a different type of game. This is not Big Brother. This is Celebrity Big Brother. It's like Kathy Griffin said on Celebrity Mole Hawaii, like, she thought there was going to be, half games and half that. So, like they don't do the whole thing on Celebrity Big Brother. They just do little pieces of it. And I was happy with the pieces that we got. I wish we could have got a little bit more. We can talk about the structure of the finale, but this is it.
And I will say this about your all-star season idea for 3 or 4 week process. I saw our good friend Doug actually reached out through his sources to reach out to CBS, whatever, their affiliate, about our idea for that or for Big Brother Canada versus US season and sent them a clip of our show breaking it all down from last week. So shout out to Doug. That was very nice of you. Let's see. Maybe US will actually give a shit for once and listen to what the fans have to say.
Maybe they will. I will say that I told Fair Play. I did the oh gosh, what do you call it? The Patron Cast podcast. Yeah. And I talked a lot about the staircase and that, but we also talked a little bit about Big Brother. And I told him that I would, as you saw the commercials going live for casting. Obviously, they've been casting a little bit already, but for Big Brother, I'm going to submit a tape this year. I haven't done it in a long time, so I'm going to submit a tape. And like Fairplay doesn't understand why I'm not on the show in the first place. So I'm like, okay, well, you can help me then. So I'm gonna if Twitter can get Kamar on Big Brother Canada, I think they could at least get me into the semifinals. Let's
go. Hey, I made it to the semifinals. If I can make it to the semifinals, you can make it to the semifinals.
Excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
So
yes,
I believe in you. All right. I'll I'm an audition too.
All right, that would be phenomenal. If either one of us got in, I'd be in for it.
No, I with the baby, I couldn't do this, but Survivor, maybe. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. We saw Cynthia obviously lose in the competition. Now, my thoughts while watching that competition is, how do these people not remember anything from the season? I get it, like they're celebs, it's different, but the fact that Todrick did so poorly in this competition, and there was like 3 questions where none of them got a correct answer. You could have been blindfold guessing and possibly done better than they did. What did you think?
I mean, they're just not very smart. They're not like us. They're not playing for their lives. They've got a nice, like Cynthia Bailey has a fantastic life waiting for her when she gets out of the house. She doesn't care about these little trivial facts that are happening. She doesn't know to look for them. The thing is, Todrick knew to look for them and he was fucking awful. Like, how did Todrick not win this? I don't understand how Todrick didn't win this particular competition. He knew that a competition like this was coming. I mean, and some of those I knew, and I barely watched the show. I just remember Mariah saying the thing about a good defense and blah blah blah, and I don't know how, but yeah, God bless him. God
bless
as my
him.
mom, as we say in the South, God bless them. God bless them.
All right, so we got past that. Misha ends up winning the final HOH competition. She was just an absolute beast at everything she did this season. And honestly, even if they were sequestered, part of me feels like Misha actually stood a good chance against Todrick. Let's say everyone was in the dark about everything that had happened, inside the house. These people were sequestered. This jury was sequestered, and they voted for the winner. I think Misha could put up a good case for the amount of competition she won.
I think it would have been closer. I think it would have been 5-4 or 4-4. Maybe America's vote comes in there. Maybe it's 5-3. I don't know. I think she would have had a good shot. I think that she presented herself in just such a way that it didn't offend as many people. Certainly not if they had been sequestered. Leaving the house. I think that she certainly would have put up a good fight. Even then, if people would not have known all the stuff that Todrick had said and done behind their backs. She's a worthy winner. I mean, let's hand it to the Celebrity Big Brother for giving us not one, but not two, but three female winners in a row. Yep. So that's great to see. But Todrick terribly misplayed his hand, knowing that the celebs are going to have a chance to go home and see everything. And it's still going back to Misha and how she beasted everything. It still boggles my mind. And Cynthia realized this too late, that they had Misha on the block after the veto and they didn't vote her out. Like, how the fuck does that happen? How the fuck did they vote out Shayna over Misha when she's sitting on the block ready to be picked off? All you have to do is go in there and cast your goddamn vote, and somehow they all voted for Shayna. Like, it's just, it boggles my mind. It really does.
When Shayna went home over Misha, I said to myself, Misha's going to win this competition, barring something crazy happening or Todrick turning his back on her and trying to get her out. She's winning this game. Like, I really did feel that way because she's just too damn good at competitions. She played a great social game where she was very good with everyone. Everyone liked Misha. They saw her as the lesser of two evils, but I feel it was more so because she was winning and because she was associated with the true evil in the house, in their opinion. So I don't think it's necessarily anything she did besides play a hard game, but she was very transparent in what she did, and she won. So God, hats off to her. I think she did a great job. I think that she's one of the better winners that we've had in Big Brother. I really do. I would put her up there.
Yeah. She's certainly worthy. I will note that, and I don't know what this exactly was in response to, but I see my old Sequester 4 castmate, Katie Hopkins, in the chat and said, but Todrick knows how to win Big Brother. And I will say that I take issue with that because he doesn't know how to win Celebrity Big Brother, and this is a different iteration. I concur. He knows how to win Big Brother. He really played a game like Andy Herron, from my perspective, where he was in everybody's business, promising them everything, talking shit behind their back. They vote for him, and then when they see all the tapes, they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I voted for that rat." That was the game he played, but this game is different. They're not sequestered, and you have to remember that. Plus, these people have fucking egos. So if you go and talk shit about them behind their back, even before, I know people were talking shit about people after they left the house, but Todrick was talking shit about people in a really nasty personal way. They got Twitter so much against him even before people had left the house. Like Chris Kirkpatrick, the body wasn't even cold yet. He has not even been evicted, and he's still talking about how, he's homophobic, and he's this and he's that, and he's against me, and he said these and blah blah blah, and trying to make Chris look really terrible when it was just Todrick was just guilty of constant victimizing himself. He was a perpetual victim in the house, and it's not a good look, especially when you're somebody who seemed to always be in power, seemed to never be in danger, never sat on the block, and you're the victim of everybody. Like, girl, shut up. We don't want to hear it.
I think that's an excellent comparison to comparing him to Andy Herron. Like, Andy Herron played exactly a very similar game, and because it was a sequestered jury, was able to win, and then people saw everything. So and we look at Andy as actually a pretty damn good winner. And that's where
we do.
That's where I question, if we didn't have this outside influence on this jury, like, do we think that we would consider Todrick a pretty good winner if he ended up winning the season?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah,
but that's not the game he played. It's like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I've seen the trailer for. Like, I mean, like that's a whole nother universe where everybody's sequestered and he somehow wins that game. Yeah, exactly. So that ain't happening in our universe, girl. He lost, and he should have lost 9-0. But of course, Cynthia's dumbass didn't know not to vote for him. So whatever. Anyway, I see you, Big Brother. I see your machinations on Big Brother, not taking a commercial break so that people could tell Cynthia to not vote for Todrick. I see you. I just want you to know that.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into the actual jury portion of it all. Now we go and we see the cast return for the jury. What were your thoughts on this jury and maybe their facial expressions and their body language? Anything catch your eye?
I mean, I was a little bitter because the I don't know if I've said this already, but the one time we needed a little extra time, the one time we needed jury questions, we didn't get them. And even if they had been pre-packaged, manufactured jury questions that we've been getting every season, that they all, you like when Julie says you all have agreed on these questions, so and so you can read them. We would have got some juicy shit then, you guys. We would have got it, but they didn't let us have it. So we're gonna have to go to social media for it. I mean, that's the tea. That's what's gonna happen. They didn't want to give it to us on the show. Again, I think the producers went out of their way to give Todrick. If Todrick comes out of this house and says it was the editing, I mean, really, he needs to like somehow go suck his own dick, because I don't know how you could like feasibly look at this show and think that he got a bad edit. He got a really good edit, a really honest edit. Up until like maybe a day or two ago when maybe the edit turned on him and showed him a little bit more real, but he got a really good edit up until then. And for him to claim the show was edited badly and that's what other people saw, that's total malarkey.
I think he's enough of a fan to realize he can't get away with that bullshit. Like, he can't get away being a fan of the show, claiming how much he knows, had the freaking cast of last season at his house, and they're still there. And he can't get away with knowing he could say, well, oh, I never said this, or I never did that, or trying to victimize everyone else towards himself, saying like, no, well, I'm the victim here. There's no way. He knows too much. He knows where this has gone and where it's gone in the past and where it's going to go. So I agree with what you're saying, though. I think that he's definitely going to be looking himself in the mirror and probably be second guessing why he went on the season when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Well, when all said and done, I don't know if this is, he'll probably, I'll say this. If you're a super fan of Big Brother, and he is, I think he can at least be at peace with himself that, you know what, I played an awesome game. It would have been great in a real Big Brother season, but I was on Celebrity. And of course I got to the end and everyone was bitter and didn't want to vote for me. Like, yeah. I mean, what? He still got to the end. Like, that's all you can do as a player is get to the end.
He still won $50K.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what did you think of the Carson apology to Shayna? I really like that. I think that was big of him. I know he had said it online on different interviews that he wanted to say something to her, that it's the main thing he felt terrible about. I love that from Carson. I thought that was very big of Carson. Shayna took it so gracefully. She was so kind to him about it. I just think that whole situation played out very well.
Yeah, I mean, that was great. I mean, but I've heard Carson say that already. I saw him say that in social media. I've heard him say that in various interviews with other publications. So, that's not surprising, but it was great to hear him say that on the air. Carson's a great guy. Like, yeah. I think he's a good guy, and he got himself turned around in the house and, just didn't follow his gut on that one. Just believed a few too many lies on that one and didn't follow action. So that's the thing that we were all screaming. That's what Amon was screaming on Twitter. She used the veto on you. What are you talking about? And Misha didn't want her to do it, and she did it anyway. And now she's the bad guy. Like, what are you like? Yeah, okay. I'm glad he sees it. It's just a little bit too late. That was the worst week, you guys. That was literally the worst week. I remember what Puya said on Twitter, where he was like, because Todrick almost won that competition. The wall one, and it would have been so much better if Todrick had just won. Because then Shayna and, Carson would have been on the block, or Shayna and Cynthia would have been on the block, and Shayna would have got home and we would have been disappointed, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. But for it to be Carson, for us to be so excited, and then for to see like the horror show of what happened and how it slowly turned against Shayna was just it's a little too much for us to watch as fans.
Yeah. Exactly. So, all right. So we get to the actual voting, and we see people go up to the keys and put their keys in and give little speeches. Was there one that really like shouted out to you and you loved, or was there anything to take from all that?
I think probably the one that I liked the most, that I thought was the most piercing. Well, there were probably two. I think Chris Kirkpatrick with the thing about his son,
Yes.
because that's the thing that Todrick had said to him was, can your son be proud of you? Your son would be very ashamed of you. Blah blah blah. So I thought that was good, and I thought that disguised his vote. I mean, to the real fans like us, we knew who he was voting for. But I thought that was. I thought that was done well enough where you could, not, if you're not a real fan of the show, you don't know exactly who he's going to vote for. And also Shayna, with her, this vote guarantees I'll never have to hear your voice again. Like, I love stuff like that. We love stuff like that on Big Brother. That was the closest thing we got to some real shade. So I was thrilled with that. I thought that Teddy with her, because the thing about the Wizard of Oz and the curtain, we had already seen that on Twitter. So then she reused it on the air, and she kind of fucked it up too. So, like, come on.
I just love Lamar when he's just like, yeah, I got a tattoo this week. And
today. No, he said today.
Excuse me. Today. Yeah. And I'm going to pick whoever chooses, or who's the best representation of this tattoo. I was like, that is just so Lamar. That is so Lamar. He's just going with something that happened to him.
You know that he's voting for Misha then, because he's not going to get a tattoo of like, a rat or a dumbass on himself. He's going to get like some champion, some winning thing. So of course he's going to vote for Misha. Like I totally knew he was voting for Misha.
At first, I totally thought he was going to say, I got a tattoo of who I think should be the winner. Like I thought that's where this was going. And I was just like, damn, Lamar, you're hardcore. Or it was going to be a tattoo of Chloe. I don't know. One of them. So we go to the vote, and it comes back with a 7-1 or 8-1 vote?
7-1.
7-1 vote for your winner.
America voted for Shane.
100.
So
100%.
And again, the America's favorite votes were totally fucked up. So like, what do I know? But the fact that they didn't reveal it leads me to believe that they voted for Misha. They didn't want to pile on to Todrick.
Exactly. They didn't want to put any more flame to that fire. So we come back with vote. Misha wins. Everyone comes out. Everyone's hugging everyone. But you see, the only real person to hug Todrick when he came out was Carson, because Carson's just nice to everyone. Carson can't help but be himself in front of everyone. I love this. I love that someone like Shayna and even Teddy were standing back and not giving anyone a hug. I was like, you know what? Good for you. Good for you standing your ground. Don't be fake. Don't, say you're hate them and then go up and start hugging them. So I really applaud them for sticking to their guns and standing strong. And Todd's facial reactions while Todrick was doing his speech, just shaking his head. Oh, I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, that was great. I'm glad they had a camera on Todd Bridges when that happened, because that was a severe eye roll on that one. So we love that. That's what we were living for. Here's the thing about Todrick, and I feel like somebody needs to distill it into a way that you all can understand. It's not so much the insults and the things he said behind people's backs, because I think they all sort of partook in that, and even some of the personal stuff and how it really got a little evil with some people. Maybe they could look over that as well. The thing that I think that just grates people the wrong way about Todrick is that I don't know if there has ever been a sincere thing that has ever come out of his mouth in the house. Like, I feel like everything he does is just like he's measuring it ahead of time before he says it. And even though it may be the wrong thing, like I still think he's thinking in that way. Like when he's playing the game and he's just measuring about what he says, and it's just all fake. Everything's fake with him. Like there's no, I don't even know I don't even know if it's possible for him to be real. Like I've gotten real with you guys on podcasts. I mean, I've talked about this when I was on our HAP. There's, podcast Brent and there's real Brent, and but sometimes those can kind of commingle a little bit. And I I don't know that Todrick has ever been capable of showing those people who he really is without any like predisposed to anything. I don't think it's possible for him. And I think that's why I think that's why he's kryptonite to the fans and to the jury.
Yeah, and I think the show, even to an extent, tried to humanize Todrick by in the last episode where they talked about how he wants to create a play, about people of color and show like a princess of color and really bring that to people to show people that come from different backgrounds, like that you are also recognized as well, and that was a very nice moment. But the show was really going out of their way to show nice parts of Todrick. And I think that the public really got to see the real person he is. And I'm not saying what he's doing with that isn't a very good thing. I think it would be great. But also show us the Todrick that we see every day on the feeds. Show us the Todrick that's in front of our face. Don't just give us this make-believe Todrick that you want us to see. And I know they're trying to protect the celebrity's image, but let us see the real person too, so that we can decide what we think of this person. Don't just give us a watered down version. And that's what I hate for the TV audience, that they're getting a watered down version and don't understand why he lost unanimously and why people are shaking their heads. They might not be informed on what's going on inside the house or what's going on in social media. So I feel like the show needs to do their part and give us those facts.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I think Vandy Dandy in the chat has a great comment where he says it's fine to be an asshole, but you should be somewhat aware of it. And I don't think that Todrick was ever aware of how he was perceived by the people on the jury. I just don't. And he, like, when you're totally oblivious to it, people don't like it. Like if you're like Dr. Will, and I hate to give Dr. Will because that's so cliche, but like if you're aware you're an asshole, then and you say you're an asshole, then people aren't going to hold you so accountable. But when you are not aware of it, then people see you in a different light. As Corey says in the chat, Todrick is a social justice imposter. He's just a user, and I totally concur. Seeing what I know of his career, it does appear to me, as we talked about last week, that he uses social justice when it's convenient for him, and when it's not convenient for him, it's nowhere to be found.
And Deborah says it well too. He is a classic narcissist. Like that's 100% it. He very much so is. He believes his own BS sometimes, and he just won't admit that. If you're gonna be that way, then own up to it. And he just won't ever own up to his own actions. So we'll see once he gets back to social media, once he gets back to the real world. Let's see what comes out. I'm excited to see, because I want to know if he's going to own up to his BS or if he's going to play it off like, oh, nothing ever happened. And I want to say I don't think the latter will happen. I think it'd be better for him to own up to it, but I don't think it's going to. So we'll see.
I don't think so either. We'll see.
Okay, and so lastly, we get to America's favorite player, and I know
now. So before we talk about this, do we need, like, are we taking a commercial break this time? Do we have to take a commercial break?
I was going to do it after this, and then we could.
Oh, you're going to do it after this? Okay, yeah. Fabulous. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
So next we get to America's favorite player, and I know people have a lot to say about all of this. So without further ado, Brent, I want you to go on your rant, because I'm sure you have some kind of rant to say about
Well,
it.
Like, I don't know that there's a rant to be had. I mean, like, Shayna should have won.
Yeah.
All of the fans of Big Brother wanted Shayna to win. I mean, if as you said in the beginning of the show, if this show cared what social media thought of it, Shayna would have been the rightful winner. Carson is a fine winner of America's favorite player. He's a great guy. Seems like he has a lot of fun. Doesn't seem like he's too, into himself. And as I told you the first week we talked about this, I've dealt to Carson before when he played blackjack at my casino, and he was a nice guy then. He wasn't. There are celebs who I've dealt to before who are a little bit asshole-ish, but he was not one of them. He seems like a genuinely good guy. It's just we wanted it to be Shayna because we wanted to fuck you to Carson, or I keep saying Carson. We wanted to fuck you to Todrick, and we didn't get that. And that's the part that really sucks the most. Because we wanted Shayna to win to give a big fuck you to Todrick, and that's not what happened. As to how it happened, I think two things. Number one, the producers don't give a shit. And number two, I think that Twitter, as it's done before, I think this has happened twice. I remember with Kirsten McInnes on Big Brother Canada 6, and I remember with Teresa Cooper on Survivor Second Chances. Twitter just totally skewed the results, where all you're seeing is people voting for the person you perceive to be in the catbird seat, whether it's Teresa Cooper or Kirsten McInnes or Shayna. I mean, that's all I saw on social media. I was like 95 to 1 to 2 to something. I don't know what everyone was voting for Shayna, and somehow they come on the show and Carson wins. It's just whatever. Like, whatever, dude, whatever.
See, I agree with everything you just said. To those same points with Kirsten and with T-Bird, I think we realized that while social media has a big part of our lives with the people we discuss, the Big Brother universe and reality TV universe as a whole, it's a big part of our lives. But we are a small, rather large, but small microcosm of the entire viewing audience. Now, I think in all three of those instances, we were able to see how big the casual audience truly is. Because I even said, I thought that for America's Favorite Player, it would be watered down between Carson and Lamar. People love Lamar for his story and everything he's gone through. People love Carson for his entertainment value and everything gets brought to the diary rooms. So I thought with those two, they would water down each other's votes, and then Twitter's poll of getting Shayna in would go over the top because we'd be able to get over the top with those two killing off each other's votes. That didn't happen. Carson still won. So we vastly underestimate the casual audience, the non-Twitter army, the non-social media armchair quarterbacks. We see the side of the viewing audience that vastly outnumbers us. And I think that people underestimate that for sure. I think that we always think, well, Twitter says this, so it's going to happen. Or if Twitter is going to be on this side of the vote, that's what's going to happen. Not necessarily. Like these casuals are really coming strong, and they're like someone's grandma's not going on social media voting for this. Probably some do, but a lot are just sitting there for the episodes each week and then doing their vote real quick, and that's all they think of it.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I know. It just was really disappointing because, again, that was one of our few chances because we didn't get the jury questioning. We didn't get America's vote revealed. We wanted to say to Todrick as a fan base, fuck you, dude. We see you. And we didn't get that either.
I still feel like we got that, though, because he sees her in the top three. I think the fact that we see her in the top three means we made an impact.
He wasn't in the top three.
And he wasn't in the top three. She was. Then the two biggest people among the casuals with Lamar and Carson were in there as well. I think he's seeing Shayna in there. He's knowing in his head he's done something wrong if she's one of the ones in there.
Yeah, but I think that's fair. Yeah.
All right, so we alluded to it earlier. For the last time for the season, we apologize for how long they are. We love you guys. Stick with us, and we'll be back in just a few minutes as we get to our commercial break, and then we'll be back with breaking down the rest of the finale and then what's going forward for us here on the podcast for next season.
Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't suck.
Researched and developed for 3 years to be made for people, not patients. Lucy has created a nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. Lucy also has a lozenge with 4 milligrams of nicotine in cherry ice flavor. Each and every flavor actually tastes great, and it's convenient and discreet. Products can be enjoyed anywhere, on flights, at work, on the go, or even in the gym.
I am so happy that Lucy is sponsoring us. Ever since they came on board, I have gotten no less than 5 of my friends transitioned over to Lucy and put their cigarettes down. They like the gum. I'm used to seeing the packages all around. This stuff is great, and it's really helping people make much healthier choices. So get on board and join the Lucy movement.
Hey, it's 2021. Get rid of your cigarettes, unplug your vape, throw out your dip, and get some Lucy nicotine gum or lozenges. This is the real deal. A subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door each month. It's so simple that you don't even have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down.
Reality NSFW listeners, go to lucy.co and use promo code SURVIVOR to get 20% off all products, including gum or lozenges. That's lucy.co and use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's lucy.co, and be sure to use that promo code SURVIVOR.
This episode of Reality NSFW is sponsored by Blue Chew. Say it with us, Blue Chew. Blue Chew is making waves and bringing more confidence to the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger and longer lasting erections. That's right, we're giving away super hard dicks.
Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men achieve harder, stronger erections to combat all forms of ED.
Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor offices, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And the best part, it's all done online.
Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's sildenafil and tadalafil tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy.
Hey, if you're looking to give that immunity idol to someone, or you don't want to be voted out of a crater, don't worry, Blue Chew's got you covered. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's Blue Chew, BlueChew.com, promo code SURVIVOR to receive your first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
We're all trying to eat better, but healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love, but without all the bad stuff. And it's amazing as a midnight snack right before bed.
0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. That's only 140 calories per serving.
It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. And build your own box. Available flavors to build your very own custom bundle are cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and my favorite, maple waffle. Now, Magic Spoon recently brought back their 2 super popular flavors, cookies and cream and maple waffle. Thank goodness, but they're back permanently. And when these flavors were first introduced for a limited time, they sold out extremely quickly. Now, I'm here to let you know you can get them again or try them for the first time. Why? Because they're delicious and indulgent.
Johnny, Magic Spoon has so many great flavors that I really enjoy, and even my kids enjoy them. We have the cocoa, fruity frosted, peanut butter. All these are really great combinations. They enjoy waking up in the morning and getting some Magic Spoon right off to start their day great before they head off to school. I think everybody listening should give Magic Spoon a try, or if you've tried them already, it's time to reorder. Let's get you some more Magic Spoon and get your day started right.
Hey, when I finish a podcast late at night, the first thing I'm thinking is not sleep. It's let me grab a delicious bowl of Magic Spoon before I go to bed.
So go to magicspoon.com/survivor to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code survivor at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/survivor and use the code SURVIVOR to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this podcast.
All right, and welcome back to the podcast. Sorry, I was reading the chat, and there was so much going on in this chat. First off, if you are on YouTube or if you're watching after the fact, please give us a like, and we would love to see you guys also subscribe to Reality NSFW if you can. Helps us keeps us here on the show to bring you guys this content each and every season. It is the finale, so this is our last time to try to get those likes and those subs in. So please,
Wait.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I literally, like, this time I actually watched the numbers. I watched the
You saw
numbers
it?
for it. I did. I see it climbing right now. People see us back and they're watching again. That's what
I
they're
told
doing.
you.
Now it's back over 300 because it was down to like 250. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I know. I said this last week. I was like, I always watch that. And it dips as soon as we go. And as soon as we come back, they all come back. It's like clockwork.
Yes.
So first off, we do have a couple of questions in the chat. If I can scroll up and find them again right here. So first off, Bobby, how many blue cheese tablets are enough for you to get the job done right? Some of us, as much as we love our sponsors, some of us don't need Blue Chew. Proof is in the pudding up there going to bed.
Okay. How old are you, Bobby? Can I ask how old you are?
I'm actually going to be 33 on Sunday. We're celebrating my
good.
birthday tonight. After this, going to the casino.
Excellent.
It's our first night away without the baby, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Excellent. Yes, I remember 33. Wow, I remember
33. Gotta love
yes.
it. I feel old.
Oh, you're not old. You're so young. You're so young, and I am too. But still, like 33.
Wow,
I remember 33. Yeah,
33. All right. So let's get to it. If you guys have any questions in the chat, please put them in there. We'd be happy to answer your questions before we go off air. This is the last time for this season to talk about anything from the season that you want to go over. Or if you have any questions about Big Brother Canada, we would love to talk about that too. So Brent, anything you want to go over now that the season is done?
Okay, tell me they are not, Vandy. I see Vandy in the chat saying that Rap is praising Todrick's personal integrity right now. You have got to be fucking with me. Like, tell me you're fucking with me. Like, that it cannot be happening. If that's happening, I still have his number. I will call Sesternino right now and tell him to put me the fuck back on for 2 minutes and tell them what the fuck for, because that is bullshit. What is happening over there that cannot be happening? You have to be. There's no one there. I know who's on the show. It's Melissa and Taryn and Puya and Rob, and there's not one of those people that is going to praise Todrick's fucking personal integrity. Am I right about this?
You're absolutely right. I mean, you should be.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what to say there. I'm not listening to what they're saying, so I couldn't tell you.
Maybe somebody else besides Vandy can verify that. I think Vandy's just trying to start shit over here.
Probably. I mean, I feel like they go to whatever social media is saying. If social media says the sky's blue, they go with that. So I'm just saying, I think they wouldn't be saying that, but
I wouldn't. Like, they know their fan base too. Like, come on, if Rob is the one person in the world who definitely listens to his fan base, and nobody wanted Todrick to win, and nobody likes Todrick over there. So come on. I think the extent of what they might be saying is that, as we said earlier, if this had been regular Big Brother, Todrick played a fantastic game, but that is not the game that he just played, and he knew that when he signed up for it.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I really like and respect the people at Rob Has a Podcast, so I don't think they would say anything that would make them look bad.
And I was also being like, in case someone shares that, like I was also being facetious when I said that. Like, I'm not really going to call Sesternino and say, "What the fuck are you doing over there?"
They're not praising Todrick. That's BS. Okay, so maybe one person is just trying to stir the pot a little bit.
I see you, Bandy. All right.
All right. So. Right here, we have someone who asks, how do we watch BB Can? There's lots of ways.
I mean, first of all, I don't know. I mean, I know how I watch BB Can.
I know how I watch BB Can too. I don't know. Are we allowed to share on air?
I don't see why not. Like, I mean, Rap never could.
Yeah.
I mean, why? Like, I usually go
It's stupid.
to, yeah, I can, if you guys, I mean, I'm happy to help you right now, but like, if you want, you can also DM me on Twitter. My Twitter's at @OneLuckyGay. I usually use one of the off sites like Video Brother, or there's another one that you can get Opera Browser and hide your location. It depends on what you want. If you want to do very little and you don't care about missing some feeds, then watch Video Brother. If you want to be a little bit more into it and really have the feeds on at all times and be able to click around, maybe Opera Browser with a locator disguiser would be the way to go. I see people talking about Paramount Plus. I highly doubt whether or not Paramount Plus. I mean, this would be glorious if they did.
It's
but
just,
I mean,
sorry.
It's just the Big Brother seasons, right?
It's just like Australian Survivor. They're not going to put the newest season on there until after the fact. So they won't have Big Brother Canada on Paramount Plus until maybe even next year. Who knows? But like Paramount Plus had the last season of Australian Survivor. They don't have the current one, but they have the last one, and they put that up immediately following the season. So just like Brent said, you can hit me up at Goodsby Bobby on Twitter. I'll tell you, I use my Fire Stick to watch it, so I'm able to watch it on my TV. I don't have, a VPN or anything. So if you need to know how I do it, you guys can hit me up, and I'll give you all that info. All right. So next, let's see here. Do we have any other questions in the chat?
I don't know if we do. Everyone just has such shit to say. They don't have questions.
It's so hard to sift through what people are saying and trying to read actual questions. No one uses question marks anymore. All right.
That's true. They might have a question, but they didn't use a question mark.
Exactly.
Todd.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Ren has a question. Do you see Ren's question?
No comment.
Obviously. Come on, I'm Christian. Like, let's go. Like,
yeah, I'm Christian too, so I hope that answers your question.
Let's go.
Well, that's the most personal I've ever been on air.
Oh yeah, that's good. I like it. That's good. Let the fans see who you are. I like it.
Okay.
Will Teddy ever stop requests to take down Todrick? Vandy says. I think that she might go a little further, maybe one more day. She knows her 15 minutes is running out. So she's probably going to go at it for another day or two. But I think she'll probably stop because the finale's over. Todrick's going to be out of the house. Like I'm sure they're going to fight on Twitter for the next 24 to 48 hours. But I think by Sunday, it'll be over.
Yeah, I agree. Everything he just said, I absolutely agree with. I did have another one here. How excited are you all both for BB Can? I'm extremely excited, especially since while watching this episode, I was watching through a stream from Canada to watch this episode because I live on the West Coast, so I can't watch live with y'all. But we have the podcast immediately after the East Coast airing, so I have to find ways around to watch when you guys all watch. So I used the Canadian version, and during each commercial break, they showed the upcoming cast for the new Big Brother Season 10 Canada version of the cast. Now, one person I'm very excited about, I'm totally blanking on his name. What is his name, Brent?
Who?
The guy that Twitter got it.
Kyle Moore. Yeah.
Kyle Moore.
For those of you who don't know, sorry. Well, you can go ahead and tell it.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, you no me, no you. Go ahead. So if y'all remember last year for Big Brother Canada 9, they cast this guy named Ethan, and then they found some homophobic tweets on Twitter and some other bullshit that he had said. He got suspended for something at school. I don't know. But basically, Twitter went and found him and took him down. And he got bounced from the cast before they ever even entered the house. And so then they put on Kyle Moore number 2, as we are going to call him for now, because the real Kyle Moore, as we're going to tell you in a second, is now on Big Brother Canada 10. Basically, what happened is they cast Kyle Moore as the replacement, but the cast didn't know he was the replacement. He did. But he got onto the show, played reasonably well. He played okay. It was fun. But when in the early goings, when people were trying to figure out who this guy was, they found another Twitter account also called Kyle Moore, also looks very much like the the fake Kyle Moore that's in the Big Brother Canada 9 house. And so people ran with it for like a fucking day. And because the real Kyle Moore, who again is on this season of Big Brother, we just learned, because he doesn't get on Twitter very much, it just went and went and went for like a day. And then he finally got on Twitter and set the record straight. But of course, by then, everyone was like, oh my God, how we had fallen in love with him. We wanted him to be in the house, not the guy that we eventually got in Kyle Moore from Big Brother Canada 9. I think I've got all of this correct.
Yes.
And so then Twitter, like literally, if not for Twitter, this guy would not be on the season.
No.
Okay. But Twitter literally pulled him out, and he then like went and started doing podcasts. He works in mental health, and people started to fall in love with him. He seems like a really, really good guy, like the kind of guy you take home to your mom and marry. Like that's the kind of guy he is. And he did an interview on RHAP, and like he just really got all over the place. And I remember him, I retweeted this, look at my timeline. There's a video of him who he realizes what's happened with all these notifications. Like he's literally someone who had like, 100 followers, and all of a sudden he has like a bazillion followers and a ton of notifications. And he's like, what the fuck just happened? And he realizes what's happened. And he says they cast a Kyle Moore on the show who, and he admits, looks very much like him, but it's not him. And so he said, I think what I'm gonna have to do for the fans, I'm going to have to get on Big Brother Canada next year. And lo and behold, he fucking did. Oh my God. Like that is just the peak Arissa Cox. Arissa Cox is executive producer. I know that she had to have at least a little bit of finger on the scale to get this guy on the show. And he's fucking gorgeous. Like, let's be real. So like, I mean, it wasn't like a big lift for them to get him on. I think it's just amazing. So I think that, there's going to be there looks like a lot of fun people. Gino is one of the people on the show. He's hot as hell. I'll just say hot as hell. He's got tattoos. He can, he can have me. He was so fucking hot. But there's some other really, really cool people on the show. I have the picture right here. Sorry, I retweeted it. That's what I did. It looks like a really, really fun cast. And of course, Arissa Cox, they went out of their way this year. Just looks like really fun. I will say that the one girl, Jessica, and I know other people have noticed this, they always cast this girl. Okay, I don't understand. Why do they cast it's like a fake Brooke Moore? Not Brooke Moore. Brooke, what's her last name? Brooke from Big Brother Canada 8. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brooke, the one with the glasses, the one that was like in the final two. Big Brother Canada 8 never finished, but she was one of the last two people to leave the house.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that she was working with at the time? I've totally blanked on that. The guy when Big Brother Canada 8 ended because of COVID, there were two people left in the house. It was Brooke and it was who?
Is it Sterling or something like that?
No. Oh, what's his name? Oh my God, I can see him. Black guy, hot.
Yep. I want to say it was something with an S. I could be wrong.
The chat's gonna help us.
I'm so bad with names.
I'm tap dancing while the chat is waiting. I'm waiting for the chat.
Yeah, chat, where you at?
Chat, where you at?
Sheldon. I say this with an S. Sheldon.
Sheldon. Yes, Sheldon. Yes. Thank you.
What did I say? Like Sheldon?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. No. As far as
I see him, I cannot remember his name.
I knew it was something with an S. I just couldn't remember what. As far as the Kyle Moore situation, I think this is exactly the point proven that Big Brother Canada listens to their fans. They're aware of what's going on in their community, and they will actually do something about it if the fans are vocal enough about it. Now, were we saying, oh, he has to be cast? No, but people were like, oh, this guy would be great. We love this guy. We stand this guy. And then look, he goes and gets casted. This would cast. Excuse me. This would never happen.
Thank you.
In the U.S. Never happen in the U.S.
No, never does happen in the U.S. Yeah,
I'm very curious. Who this guy is.
I'm very curious to see if any of the other 15 house guests, and there are 16 house guests this year. I'm very curious to see if any of the other 15 house guests know who this guy is. I think there's a decent chance there's a couple super fans in there who probably listen to RHAP who might have seen an interview with this guy. I think there might. We'll see. I bet my bottom dollar that at least 3 of these people know who this Kyle Moore is and where he came from, basically. So,
yeah.
Brent, have you seen that Twitter is suggesting people based on who you follow? You know what, MC? Yes, I'm aware that Twitter does that. And I have just decided that I don't give a fuck anymore. I left RHAP. I'm on Reality NSFW. Yes, I follow some adult people on Twitter. And if y'all don't like that, y'all need to stop following me on Twitter. I'm just saying, because I know Twitter does that, and I hate that they do. I wish there was a way I could stop Twitter from doing that. But I like to follow some porn people. I like to follow some adult sex workers. I think it's hot. I mean, I'm a gay man, and I'm living my best life, and I look the best I've ever had. So of course I'm going to look, looking at hot freaking people on there. You keep seeing all follows. Interesting. Oh well, I guess people are getting a thrill out there based on what I'm following these days. Yes.
Okay, so you know what's hilarious is one time I saw you went in like a live audio thing, like one of those audio rooms, and I was at work and I was like, oh shoot, were we supposed to do something with the podcast? I didn't even look at it. I just saw it and I opened it, and it was some kind of like male meeting men type thing.
Yeah.
And
we were talking about best sexual experiences ever.
And I jumped in, and all of a sudden it was just playing on my phone in the middle of work. And I'm, a bartender, and people are like, what is that? I'm just like, oh, exit. I'm like, I'm sorry, Brent. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just thought it was something with the podcast. It was so funny. I was dying laughing. I was like, I should have looked next time when I'm clicking.
Yeah, I think you're not the only person that happened to.
Really?
Yeah, I think a lot of people did that. They saw me in that chat room. They're like, "Oh, what's Brent doing?" And then they're like, "Oh, what's Brent doing?" Yeah.
All right, we got Doug who says, "Guys, which building would you prefer competing in, the Los Angeles BB House or Toronto BB House?" Brent?
Gosh, I don't know. Probably the Los Angeles Big Brother house. And the reason I say that is because I'm hoping that by the summer, COVID will be like Omicron will be like a thing of the past. I mean, people keep saying that, but let's keep hoping. But there's an audience there. I remember watching this finale, and it really struck me again. There's no audience there. I can't wait for this to the end. I saw that Chicago, like the main part of Chicago, like in Boys Town, they're stopping people, or they're stopping the mandates from people having to wear masks in like restaurants and gyms and things like that. And that's good to hear. I'm glad about that, because I miss having an audience, you guys. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had audiences. I went to a indoor national championships of figure skating. Everybody wore masks, and we all went into the audience. I don't understand why they can't have an audience and just make the people wear masks. Like, why can't we do that? I don't understand. So that's why I would rather go to the Big Brother Canada house, or the Big Brother US house right now, because I feel like they're going to get an audience before the Toronto one does.
See, I would definitely prefer
the Toronto one is off base too. Like you live in that house, you get trucked over to the audience. So yeah. Anyway.
I definitely 100% prefer the Los Angeles house. For one, I've been there multiple times to the studio audience, and there's something about just being there. You get like the chills. Maybe it's because I'm a super fan like everyone else, and it just being there, this is where the greats have played, and like I just want to go inside so much. Like they literally say beforehand, they have like their little MC guy, and he's like, you guys, there's an exit over here. There's an exit over there. And then he points at the door at the front, and he's like, no, you don't go through there. And it's just, there's something about that house as the OG house. And I just would love to play in that house. Secondly, they actually have an outside. I know Big Brother Canada has the little freaking jacuzzi area. But hell no, that's not enough of an outside for how many months you play. No, I know Big Brother US, you only go out sometimes, but at least you could go out there at night and relax and see the stars. And, in the daytime, you're out there sunbathing. Like, I feel like Big Brother Canada house, I'd get claustrophobic. I really would. As nice as it is.
I'll just say this. Like, this is what I want. I want a fantastic season of Big Brother Canada. And I don't necessarily need for the best person to win, or the person we love the most to win. I just want someone to go in there and play a fucking great game and own their shit and get to the end. Like, I want like a Kayla or like a Sarah or a Netta or John. Like, we haven't had like even Sabrina. She would like get into a fight with anybody. I want people like we didn't get enough fights last season, Bobby. We did not get enough fights. I want people to be a little angrier. I want them to be pissy that they're going to be denied their shot at the win in $100,000, which I can't believe they still give them only $100,000 in Canada, but whatever.
It's crazy.
Still, I know, but whatever. That's okay. Like I want them to fight for it. That's what I want.
All right, so then we've got Corey who says, Brent, was that you I saw accompanying Johnny Weir in Nashville after the figure skating championship last month?
Johnny Weir is awesome. He is not my kind of guy. He's really cool though. I saw what he was wearing on the Olympic coverage, and he looked fantastic. But he's a little too out there for me. But I love Johnny Weir. He's great.
All right, and I think we should probably wrap up the questions with this. Will you guys do podcasts for BB Can? Well, we actually talked about it before the show, and we will be back for next season for Big Brother Canada 10. So you guys aren't done with us yet. You know, Rahab may have moved on past us, but we're still here. We're still hanging on. We still have an audience. And I just want to thank each and every one of you, because without you guys, if we didn't see the love and support that we get through social media, through YouTube, through our Twitter handles, we see how many people watch this during the live and then afterwards. I swear to God, every single day I pull up YouTube and click on the video from this last week before the next show, and I look and read all the comments. I like them. I say stuff back. And just the amount of positivity. Yes, there's some negative Nancy's out there. You're going to have that with whatever you do. But I can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart how many of you guys bring such positivity to us and allow us to do this and bring this to you. We love to do this. Like, I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm just here because I'm an actual fan. I'm someone that loves talking about this show. I didn't get as many opportunities as I wanted to with Rahab. And here I get to come with you every single week along on this journey, each and every season, and talk about the show that we all love. So I just want to thank you guys for this. And we will be back next season for Big Brother Canada 10. And we're very excited. If you guys haven't watched Big Brother Canada in the past, you can definitely check it out. It's very comparable. Some may say even better than the regular Big Brother US season. And we'll be giving you all the tea that we give you in a normal Big Brother US season once again. And now, Brent, anything you want to say about that?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to doing Big Brother Canada 10, and you can always follow me at One Lucky Gay, and I'll tell you, I'll try to help you to watch the live feeds and watch the shows of Big Brother Canada, but it'll be all over the place. Like, I mean, you don't need to look far. Like, I mean, when there's a will, there's a way. I mean, Big Brother Canada has a good relationship with a lot of people in the United States, and so I feel like they don't go out of their way to block us from seeing what's happening up there.
Yeah. And I do want to say also, like, just, we see like 200-300 people in the chat while we're on the live here. It may not say that on YouTube, but our numbers, that's what it comes up with. And then you go later on in the week and you see there's between 5,000 to 10,000 people that have watched us on YouTube. And it just blows my mind, the amount of people that came over with us from Rahab. I know. You look at the other numbers that we get here on NSFW, and because you guys are so loyal to Brent and to myself, we can't even compare it to anything else. We are so blown away about that. So thank you. If you have any friends or family that love the show, bring them along with you. The more, the merrier. So yes, we'll be back, and we're very, very excited about it. It'll be only a couple weeks, and we'll be right back at it. All right, Brent. The season is over. What are your thoughts overall, and what are your lasting comments for the season?
I think I'm watching the count. We're actually under 100 right now because we were at like 300. Like I think people have already like left because they thought we were leaving. It was the worst Big Brother Canada. Becky, I keep saying Big Brother Canada. It was the worst celebrity Big Brother that we've had. So whatever. I'm glad it's over. Congratulations, Misha. Girl, bye. Let's move on to Big Brother Canada. Let's go.
All right, guys. So I think that's going to do it for us. Brent and I are going to try to do a cast assessment, maybe. What do you think? You think we're going to be able to do
I don't
that?
know. Like, I mean, the thing about a cast assessment is I don't know any of these fucking people besides like Kyle Moore. Like, I don't know. I know I got somebody who DM'd me. Somebody DM'd me and said that they know Moose and that he's going to have a killer social game. They went to the same high school as him. Jordan, I don't want to say his name in case he doesn't want me to tell people, but somebody helped me and told me that they went to school with Moose and that he's gonna have a killer social game. So we'll see. You never know, but you never know how people are gonna interact once they're in the house. So we'll see.
Yep. I agree. I don't know much about this, but if there's something to say, we'll see. Maybe we can try to throw something together. Who knows? But no promises. But we will be there with you every Wednesday night to break down the season as a whole. All right. So if you want to find us on social media, you can find Brent at One Lucky Gay. You can find myself, Bobby, at Goodsby Bobby on Twitter. And like I said, we'll be back for Big Brother Canada 10 in just a couple weeks' time. So for Brent, for Reality NSFW, for you guys, thank you for checking out this Big Brother Celebrities US Season 3 with us. And we'll be back for Big Brother Canada 10 in no time soon. So, all right, guys, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
And for more Reality NSFW content, visit adfreeNSFW.com.